is my first video that I've made on OBS. On August 23rd, I confronted Defango about hacking. On the right hand side of the screen, waxing lyrical, that's me. Look who's come running to the rescue. Defango demonstrated his hacking abilities in Ed Butowski's house in front of multiple witnesses by hacking a laptop in the same room as the meeting. And then next tweet down, that's what convinced Ed Butowski that Thomas Schoenberger and Manuel Chavez could pull off the rich wiretapping job. It worked, they both got hired and put up in a hotel. And then the tweet underneath that is Defango. It says, "You're unable to view this post because this account owner limits who can view their posts." So he said something along the lines of, that's old, debunked Thomas Schoenberger narratives. And I put, debunked my ass, Defango. Next tweet down. What about DEFCON? Do people with zero skills at computer hacking attend hacking conventions? You do have the relevant skill set to pull off the rich wiretapping job. That's why billionaire Butowski hired you and TS. And then in the middle of the screen here, you can see his reply. Excuse me, but I have those skills. I just fix hacks, no create them. You're just talking about made up things Thomas invented with zero proof to get idiots like you to harass me. Nothing you are saying is remotely coherent. And I replied, I don't believe you. At least you've now admitted to having the relevant skill set to pull off the rich wiretapping job. And if you look above, it says the tweet you are trying to reply to has been deleted or is not visible to you. Defango at this point blocked me. I'll show you that further on. Now I'm going to take you and show you the deposition from Thomas Schoenberger, Rich versus Butowski. Thomas Schoenberger deposition. And it's regarding a meeting at Ed Butowski's house on September 28th, 2017. We're on page 110, line 3. But it was Ed who was holding court. That's Ed Butowski. And so he would take a fork and go to a wine glass and says, "Okay, I have a speech." And that's where he started to say, my life has been turned upside down ever since I tried to help a kid named Seth Rich. And he said, you know, I've gone through horrible stuff. It's been horrible for my family. Line 11, he played the victim card at that point. And we had lunch. Joe Berkel was talking about an application that can track you associate with on social media. Now I think that's actually supposed to be Joe Burkett, who is the husband of Lara Logan. Line 15, Dave Stossel was a veteran. This is Thomas Schoenberger's deposition. And he was with Bravo 13. He was a ranger. And so, you know, I've had an association with, this is Thomas Schoenberger, with the Department of Defence, you know, in an earlier carnation. So we talked about conflict. Seemed like a nice guy. Ed then brought up I was at one end of the table and Defango was there. I think Trevor was too over. And Ed brought up, here's what I want you guys to do. Page 111, line 1. And he said, I want to outfit a van. I'll pay for everything. I want it outfitted with a Stingray. He said, I want you guys to have ability to listen in on phone calls, to listen on conversations, and to listen to whatever devices I have to get into their emails. Line 7, and I stopped him cold. And I said, that's wiretapping. It's federal. We don't break laws. And Manny says, I break laws. And Ed didn't like my answer and then started talking to Manny. And he ignored me. Manny said, yeah, we can do it. I can get it to the point where, with every keystroke, I'll know what's going on with them. And he says, I'm I'm down for a ride. Let's go to Omaha. Line 17. So he's very, very specific in telling Ed he can do it. He says he has the capabilities to do it. This is a man who, until recently, was denying that there was even a meeting. Manuel Chavez live streams everything, so he was gung ho on it, 100%. Line 23. Question. Did Mr. Butowski say why he wanted you to go in a spy van to surveil the Rich family? Question mark. Page 112, line 1. Answer. He said, I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. They're holding back on me. Line 3. Question. What did he think they were? What did he say he thought they were holding back? Question mark. Line 5. Answer. That only he can tell you. He never told me other than they're holding secrets from me. And I had two big problems with it. Number one, I'm a privacy freak, which it seemed to me offensive. But number two, it's beyond illegal. No one had a private eye license, right? Question mark. Which you can do a certain amount of this stuff. You can't, you can't eavesdrop on phone calls. You can't, listen in on conversations at home. This is hyphen hyphen law enforcement can if they suspect a crime. Right? Question mark. You you see that. Line 19. But a private citizen doing this to another private citizen is offensive as could be. Question. How did that conversation end? In terms of Mr. Butowski was requesting that you would outfit a spy van and surveil the Rich family, what was the result of that conversation? Line 25. Answer. He ignores me mostly for the rest of the page 113 day. And then finally he looks over at me and he says, you can't stomach this, Dudley, as in Dudley Do Right. Line 4. And he says, Manny and I will go handle it. Now, this was a deposition under penalty of perjury, so there was a risk of getting sent to prison if they lied under oath. Now we'll go back to this here, the Twitter, and in conclusion, September 8th, 2023. In conclusion, Manuel Chavez III seems to have a lot to hide when it comes to hacking. Otherwise, he wouldn't have had anything to be afraid of when confronted about hacking people, like blocking me and running. Did you hack into my devices / Google accounts, Manuel Chavez III / Defango / Griftcast IRL? Then I strongly believe that you do know something about my accounts and devices being tampered with. And then two down. Being gay is not a crime because they got a couple of the other ones, not Defango or Thomas Schoenberger, but a couple of their minions to come in and confront me about being gay and having feelings for another YouTuber. Which is correct, I did have a soft spot for another YouTuber that was also of the same sex. And they used the fact that they knew I had a soft spot for this other person, and also that I was very uncomfortable with being gay. to exploit that and then try and blackmail me and and they managed to goad and to get me into talking about being gay. So that they could then later on try and turn it against me and try and blackmail me and laugh in my face about doing a psyop to drag me out of the closet. Now, I don't know if you think that that's an okay thing to do to drag somebody out the closet that you know doesn't want to be dragged out the closet, but that's entirely what happened. So, being gay is not a crime. Computer/phone hacking is a crime in the US as well as in Scotland/UK. And there's just proof that he's blocked me, and I've never heard anything back from them. What crime did I commit to deserve being hacked? Answer: typing comments on YouTube. My phone/email accounts were hacked months before I ever made my first videos in 2018, at the end of 2018, actually. The justification for software such as NSO's Pegasus, because there's other stuff in this thread that shows that Defango's not the only show in town when it comes to spyware and hacking software and hacking capabilities. So the justification for software such as NSO's Pegasus is to combat serious organised crime and terrorism. My only crime, in inverted commas, was daring to disagree with monetised YT channels. And then the last one in the thread, Manuel Chavez III and Thomas Schoenberger's motives are political as well as financial, in favour of Trump and Putin's Russia by any means necessary, including hacking/espionage. And there's the article. TheDailyBeast.com right-wing activists discussed wiretapping Seth Rich's family. 3 people in the room, say.